Hi Edel,
How are
nice
you
to meet
doing?
you. My name is Sean.
Sean, very nice to meet you.
My colleague Dorina.
Hi,
Sabrina.
Adriana. Nice to meet
How are
you.
you?
Colleague
Good now.
Rachel.
Then.
Rachel, pleased to meet you.
How did you find us today?
I had no problem in getting here, just maybe the traffic was a bit heavier than I expected. It's been a while since I was in around the city
It
at this
usually
hour
is
of
in
the
the
evening.
evenings now, yeah.
But your directions was quite clear, so congratulations to the navigator.
Thank
you
you.
very much.
So, Edel, what do you know about Argos and the history?
Argos, the founder was Richard Tompkins. Apparently in the first week when they opened in the month of November, which will be a quiet month, that they had 1,000 staff and that they took in a revenue in excess of $1 million. It's claimed that the 96% of their stores are located within 10 mile radius of 96% of the population, and which is quite impressive. So there's obviously a large number of stores throughout. I think 737 is the number that they're at this stage.
Correct, yeah.
And as regards employees, 51,000 on the payroll, so it's quite a lot.
So, Adele, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
I graduated from GMIT in 2001 with a level 8 honours degree in information systems management, and I would have over 20 years experience in the retail industry, as you can see from my CV. I would have spent the majority of my time working for John Sweeney etc. here in Galway, and the latter years I'm currently working for Aldi Stores. I consider myself to be an outgoing person with exceptional time management skills and communication skills, with particular attention to detail. I would be very particular. I would also be a conscientious individual. I'm not one to watch the clock, so if there's a job that needs doing, I would do it, complete the task before I go. My work ethic I would have to accredit to my parents, growing up in a farming background, so at times I find it very hard to say no. So I suppose that's probably one of my weaknesses. My hobbies and interests then, I'm an active member of the Camera Club at home in my local town, and in my spare time I have PTAC level 6 trainer, so in my spare time I like to volunteer at the South East Galway Rural Development Centre. So it would be for anyone, particularly the active retirement candidates that will come in and internet, email, Microsoft Word, maybe book flights, book accommodation. So any queries that they would have, I will be there to lend assistance voluntarily with the manager
Very
inside.
Can you tell me what motivates you?
Money, I would say, is not my primary motivator. As I said earlier on, it's completing a task, and I actually enjoy working with people, so I like to see people progress. It gives me a sense of purpose and achievement. So I would say that watching others progress is probably my biggest motivator rather than the euros.
Very good answer. Very good.
And Adele, why do you feel like you are a suitable candidate for the position?
Well, as advertised in your job, I feel that my skills and qualifications exactly match the skills and qualifications that are needed for this job. I think that my experience in the retail industry, like I said, over approximately 20 years experience, that I would have good people skills which I could bring to this particular position. My CV, my job titles have been kind of sales assistant, store assistant and deputy assistant, which really, while it gives you a certain amount of responsibility, it doesn't give me the managerial responsibilities. And I'd like to progress. I just feel that this position, it's an opportunity for progression. So for that reason, that's why I applied for this position.
So, Adele, what was your responsibilities in your previous job?
In the previous one, Dorina, or the one I'm at the minute?
The previous job.
The previous job, like I said, was for John Sweeney.
Yeah.
I would have been key holder in it, so I was responsible for opening and closing of the business. All cash reconciliation was my responsibility. Daily bank lodgements, replenishing of stocks, dealing with sales reps, answering queries, and obviously on the shop floor as well. So it was a multi-purpose job really. I was very adaptable, and it was a Monday to a Sunday, or Sunday was the same as Monday. So flexibility, I suppose.
Great. You were saying before that about your weakness. What would
Yeah.
you say your greatest strength would be?
Probably my ability to bring on individuals, to train individuals. Obviously, every team has strong members and has weaker members. So, I think for me to shadow somebody or someone to shadow me,
Yeah.
and I think I would have great patience and understanding and empathy towards those individuals, as well as my timekeeping, time management skills. Probably being a team player. If you wanted to summarise all that up, a team player.
Excellent.
What major challenges and problems did you face, and how did you handle them?
In work related.
Yeah.
I can remember when John Sweeney actually took over the company. It was a bank holiday weekend. There was no bank account in operation from the previous owner to John Sweeney. Tills went down, electricity went out, so for that reason the forecourt, it was inoperable. Rather than having a scanning system, everything had to be done manually, so you were back to your pen and your paper for goods. But my biggest problem was the responsibility of having that cash. I had to take on that role, that I had to take that cash home, and I was responsible for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and obviously because of the bank holiday weekend I was responsible for Mondays. So I suppose that was probably one of my biggest challenges was the responsibility that came with the cash, but thankfully everything was fine on Tuesday, all balanced. So
That's good.
yeah, it's good, yeah.
Very reliable, so
Describe a difficult work situation or project that you've overcome.
Robert, at work that was probably one of the bigger problems. When you mention projects, what comes to mind is group projects at college. Now, I did find them very challenging. Now, again, no more than a work situation. You do have individuals who are stronger, you'll have others who will sit back and be very laid back about it and take the credit for it. It can be frustrating, but if everyone is given the same opportunity, you will spot the talent. The quieter individuals will hopefully come to the fore. So the group projects. I would have to be very honest and say the group projects at college were more challenging than any work situations that I've come across.
You said before that you're very much so a team player.
Yeah.
Would you be able to give me an example of when you worked on a team?
Currently, in my previous employment in Edel, I work as part of the team every day. So every day I'm rostered. Just because we have deputy store assistant as a title or deputy manager, basically it just means that you're responsible again for cash reconciliation, you're responsible for the back office, but you've obviously to pull your weight out in the store as well, so you're actually dealing with employees, so everyone's treated equally. I go in at the same time as they do, I replenish the stock levels, I just take out the tills to them, and I walk the shop floor the same as they would do. And in my personal life, as I said, I volunteer, so I'm actually dealing with people there as well, and it's kind of a team environment. And for sport and recreation, then I would have played a lot of basketball and volleyball in school. So
Great amount of examples for working on a team, so.
So how would you deal with a customer that has an issue or complaint?
well, ideally, the right thing to do is, if circumstances allow, that you can just take this individual aside. This is not an issue that you would deal with on the shop floor. It's a one-to-one. Obviously, the customer is always right to a certain degree, but privately is the way that I would deal with this. Preferably in a back office, or not in front of your other customers who are coming and going, and then dependent on the nature of the complaint. There's obviously company policies, rules and procedures that you would have to follow. There's a code of conduct handbook or a practice handbook with every organisation, so you need to adhere to the steps at first, and then you have to come to a mutual arrangement.
And why are you leaving your previous job?
Like I said earlier, Darina, I'm looking for an opportunity to progress. While the title might suggest as deputy manager, that it's a managerial position, it's not. There's quite a few steps to go yet, and I just feel that the job at Argos, it's a people's job. You're dealing with people. You may be training people. There's not that much of an opportunity at Aldi for training because everybody is trained at the same level outside of the company. So when they come in, they could be shipped from the store in Galway to the store in Limerick, and everything is the same.
Yeah.
All procedures are the same. But I just feel with Argos that there are bigger opportunities with Argos and customer services. It's very much hands-on and it's with people all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas at Aldi, well, I have no issues at Aldi. You know, it's nearly more about the products than it is about the people. It's
Exactly,
get them in, get the money, and get them out. You know, but I'd rather deal with the people. It's what I prefer to be
Yeah,
at. You know.
Of course. What kind of skills have you learned from your degree that would be beneficial for our client, Argos?
We would have done quite a bit of communications, so I think communications is very important for the job requirement. We would have done some HR as well, which would have actually covered a lot of what's involved in recruitment and selection. So you get to know what goes on behind the scenes. It's not just a matter of applying for the job and turning up, and it's more about recruiting the right candidate for the right job. And at the end of the day, can you work with this person? Are they reliable? You know. So probably communications and the human resources would be most appropriate.
So where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
Hopefully to be working for Argos now. It's a customer services job, so I'm just wondering, is there opportunities to progress beyond that? Would there be regional sales jobs?
Oh yeah,
Store
they offer
manager
very.
jobs.
So, okay.
There's a lot of positions available for people that are able to work for.
Okay.
Is that they have a lot of managerial positions, and of course you'll be able to move up to regional manager. Of course, if that was something you'd be
so
interested
your customer
in.
services an entry
It's a
level,
it's a pathway up to
so it's
store manager.
it's
and
like a
then
stepping
regional.
stone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
Exactly.
yeah.
So Edel, when are you available to work? Can you start straight away, or do you have to give
Just
notice?
out of respect, I would have to give the required
Yeah.
notice, and because of the duration of my time there in my employment, I would be looking at approximately 28 days notice.
28 days.
28 days.
Yeah, that's perfect.
That basically brings the interview to a close. Do you have any questions for us?
If I was successful, how soon would I know?
Well, we're hoping to go through the applications this week. You should hear by Tuesday next week
That's
at the
fine.
latest, and it'll probably be by phone, if not email.
Oh, that's fine.
Is that okay?
That's fine. Okay.
Thanks, Edel, for coming today.
All right.
Right.
Thanks very much for
Thanks
your
for
time.
your
I
time.
appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, Sean.
Nice to
Thanks,
meet you.
Maria.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rachel. Okay. Bye.